Welcome everybody to Signatures and Finisher Podcast. I'm your host, DS Wall. And I'm just gonna say this so everybody understand. I did not read Signature and Finisher Podcast logo on the back. I just knew that from the top of the dome. Because I know in the past I always mess up. Now I'm not. I got it. Boom, your boy is back on track. Just want to say that. Because Jay looking at me like, yeah, I was waiting for the screw up.
Kind of appreciated the screw ups.
Yeah.
Now it's just kind of dull.
Oh, it's dull because now I'm reading it right. But when I screw up, it was funny. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha. You sound
show off
prepared
with the
for
laugh.
last week.
Got to show off with the laugh. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming down now, he hails from the other side of Michigan.
The other side. You mean the proper side?
Weighing out an even, maybe a little stretch of $1.95. That's a questionable weight.
Ay.
The light heavyweight champion of the world, no, that's Jamie, ladies and gentlemen, not Jack Jenkins.
What should you have to drink today?
Lemonade and some water. So before we did the show, I had my lunch, but before then, I had to go outside in the heat and cut my grass. Now, I got one of those electric lawnmowers. So you know that ain't last too long. So you know I had to time the battery before the battery died. I got 19 minutes to cut this. It ain't last 19 minutes. It ain't last 15 minutes.
The question is,
I have
why didn't
two
you do it
batteries.
yesterday?
I was at work yesterday.
Before work.
I've been at work all this week. Shout out to those people who just don't stop ordering. Stop. Let your boy
my
rest.
wife?
I'm gonna have to fight y'all for real.
Do
and I only
we
got
have,
today. I have to go back tomorrow, so I might be a little cranky.
We're on like the everyday 3 times a day Amazon deliveries.
Yeah, I know, man. One of these days, I'm gonna hit the jackpot. I promise y'all that. Promise that one. I'm speaking that to existence to the man upstairs. But we're not here for that. We are here to talk about, if you are a wrestling fan, this was a very good weekend for you because AEW and WWE have both had their pay-per-views this weekend. Night of Champions on Saturday, Forbidden Doors on Sunday. Now, it depends on what side you're on. You got people who say, hey, both shows were nice. Both shows were great. Then if you're on the other side, you say one show was good and the other show was crappy. But if you're the other guy who just says both these pay-per-views were boring, now I don't know what to tell you.
If you're somebody that thinks that both shows were boring, then you're just a wrestling hater and you have no business watching. Was one show absolutely boring? 100%. Was one show absolutely not boring? 100%.
So let's start with the Night of Champions because that was the first pay-per-view.
So we're ending on a good note, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So everything on Night of Champions has went as we thought it was going to go. We said Io was going to win because it makes
there was
sense.
not one surprise.
No,
not one
surprise. But let's get to the main thing we had said on this show. That for some reason everybody think it's a surprise. We didn't see that coming. We told everybody that Sami Zayn was going to win the championship this weekend. We had said
he was going to win in this match before this match was ever even booked.
Right. We said it in before he became the special guest referee. Yeah. Once they included Sami Zayn in this story, Sami Zayn was going to win this title. And then if you guys also pay attention to what we said, that Sami Zayn title run is not going to be a long run. He's going to be a transition champion. What they doing to Sami Zayn is what they did to Jey Uso. Is that correct? Am I kind of on that same wavelength right now?
He might be lucky to get 51 days as champion.
But what I mean is, I'm not counting the days. I'm just counting as we gave you the title. We're going to let you have a hold of it temporarily. Then we're going to move it off of you. That's what I'm
Yeah,
coming with.
and
A
nobody can
very
ever say
short
that you
title
weren't
run.
champion. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say Jey Uso is a more deserving champion than Sami Zayn, and that takes a lot for me to say. So I would expect he's probably going to drop it by SummerSlam.
Right.
He better drop it by SummerSlam. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't follow the IWC stuff a whole lot, but like the amount of people that are losing their mind that he's champion, and it's well deserved because it's not a good look.
It's not.
There's some people, oh, he doesn't look like a wrestler, this and that. I totally get that. He does look like the everyday guy. That's part of why he has some of the fans he does. He also looks like the homeless people I used to have to step over when I worked at Rocket, downtown Detroit. So there's that too. Just from an overall perspective, he's a comedy wrestler. That's it. The only way that I would ever approve of him being heavyweight champ is if this was the sole reason to have Kevin Owens come back. And we know Kevin Owens isn't ready to come back. But Kevin Owens, this would be the perfect entryway to have Owens come back and destroy Zammy and get his proper title run that he was screwed out of with all the Roman stuff for so long during COVID.
Right. I have no issue with Sami Zayn winning the title. Let's put that. I have no issues with it. The man has the best story going on SmackDown. He has the best story going on in the company right now. This is his story with Cody Rhodes and Gunther is better than the repeat of the Bloodline. He had the best story going on. You kind of had
when
to
the bar
figure
is
that
so
this
low,
was
that's
going
not
to
something
happen.
to actually say is like an accomplishment either, though, because the bar is just that low. Like it's better than the Bloodline. While true, it is. The Bloodline is about as rock bottom as you can get at this point. And no, I did not say that because of The Rock.
This was a long time coming. We can sit here and say maybe Triple H is trying to fix a wrong that he did a couple of years ago where he could have put the title on Sammy when Sammy was white hot and they fought in Montreal Elimination Chamber, but they want to go that route because they wanted Cody versus Roman Part 2.
I would have been fine back then with with Sammy winning the title because the momentum, the story, everything was there. Not that Sammy would have made a great champion, but again, if it was just you got the belt, we could say we gave you the belt, we can move on. But I get it. Triple H gets an idea in his head and everything else be damned. It has to happen that way until there's a full-on revolt like there was with the whole Roman Rock thing. You have to get that loud to get them to divert, and then they try and lie to you and tell you, oh, we planned this from the start. No, you didn't. Sammy's probably going to lose the belt at SummerSlam because let's be honest. Is he going to develop any good, consistent matches with anybody? No.
No, and I don't have if he loses at SummerSlam, I think everybody be fine with that. I think Sammy be okay with that. Here's the thing. They put them. What have you always said about it when it comes to Triple H is that he always book himself in a bind. No, he doesn't have to. Again, we just said it. He could have put the title on Sammy 2 years ago, but he didn't. Now he waited this time. He put himself in a booger situation where he had to make Sami Zayn champion, get it out the way, so that he won't have this dilemma at the Royal Rumble. He won't have this dilemma next year at WrestleMania. Because I'm quite sure they got a plan on who they want to fight for the titles.
Hopefully they plan on building Braun Breaker back up because you've done everything possible to basically shatter all of his momentum at this point.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Look, Sami Zayn has the best story going on in WWE.
Yeah, 5 weeks ago, he was dressed up as a candy cane or a gingerbread
man. Yeah.
Candy cane. I don't know why I said candy cane.
Sami Zayn has worked his ass off to this point to be champion. And not everybody get the opportunity to be champion. Not everybody get the opportunity to finish their story or make history like Sami Zayn did. I'm happy for him. Genuinely happy for him. This was a long time coming. Congratulations to Sami Zayn. I would say that crowd
was dead.
I don't know if it was loud or not. I couldn't tell during the whole pay-per-view.
That's one of the things that people were complaining about. The crowd was dead. I mean, Sammy got a little bit of a pop when the 3 count hit, but that was about it. The crowd was dead all night.
Yeah, it was dead. But just to see Sammy go into the crowd and celebrate with the fans.
Oh, those are his people.
It makes that a priceless moment. Again, for a dead crowd to come alive when Sami Zayn won the title. That's a priceless moment for him. And we can't. I don't want to take this time to hate on Sammy. I'm gonna take this time and say, "Hey, look, let's enjoy this. Well, let Sammy enjoy this." Again, we don't feel this is gonna be a long title run.
I would be perfectly content if he lost it tonight.
Nah,
like I said,
but
I said it months ago. We know it's going to happen. I accepted it. It's happened now. He's had it for 2 days. Have him lose it tonight, and we just keep moving on.
Nah.
That would be the ideal. Sammy can then go away. We don't have to hear him cry on his little promos about, I will be champion, blah, blah, blah. This is for my people. This is the same guy that refused to go over to Saudi Arabia for how long? But that's getting into politics. I'll save that for Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's enjoy this moment. And what's next for Sami Zayn? Well, it's going to be Oba Femi. And we're going to tell you that right now. It is going to be Oba versus Sammy at SummerSlam. It's not going to be Roman.
They're not going to let Roman get paired up against Oba.
No. And plus, this is how the WWE works. And I think a lot of people really didn't catch on to the announce crew weeks ago. You remember they said the Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins match would be for number one contendership for Roman Reigns. They let that slip. So they come back Saturday when Seth beats Braun and, Seth is on his way to challenge Roman Reigns. He is challenging Roman Reigns. You guys said this is no more contender match. And how many times we have seen through the dirt sheets, through videos that they leaked out it's going to be Seth versus Roman. We're not surprised by that. You know what we were surprised with? If Seth beat Roman. That's what we'll be surprised about. But we're not. But we're going to hold off on that because we're going to continue with Sammy here. What's next for Sammy is going to be Oba Femi. The question I have now is, are they really going to put the Brock Lesnar Oba Femi feud to the back and going to have Oba versus Sammy one-on-one night one of SummerSlam? Or are we potentially going to see Oba Femi doing double duty on that day?
Probably going to get Oba doing double duty. It's probably going to be Sammy versus Oba for the main event night one. Brock will screw him out of winning, which means Sammy will have the belt. And then night two, you're going to get Oba versus Brock. That way, Brock goes out technically on day 2, retires, done, blah. And then
now,
you would probably still have
to maybe not cost Oba the title, but maybe fight Oba for the title, maybe attack him after the match.
Why would you wait until he has the belt?
Because maybe Brock won't go out one last time challenging for the title.
They're not going to do that.
I mean, it was just a shot.
I mean, you could make sense out of it, but I'm going to challenge you for the title when I beat you the second time. So now I'm going to challenge you for the title and lose. And now I retired. Like it's awkward. I mean, they've set this up to be awkward no matter what.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, the only thing that they can do to actually make this make sense is have him attack Oba during the title match to cost him. Because at this point, you could just say, okay, we split 1-1. I'm retired. That's it. We don't need to have a third match. Hey,
do you remember? And I know you do because it's in your front Rolodex. I know it is. I know it. I'm saying, but I know it is. You remember months ago, you said that if Oba beats Brock, they got to put the title on Oba. If you don't, they're gonna waste him. Was that something like you said? Something like that?
100%. It's already a waste. Like, you've already let his momentum die off. Cool, he won King of the Ring. Cool. Like, doesn't matter. He could have already been champ. You had him beat up Jey Uso, and then you had to give Jey Uso an out. That's the thing. WWE has to protect all of its guys. Notice how Gunther was conveniently not even relevant at the end of the match, because
he didn't even matter.
Gunther, exactly, because, well, we have to protect him, so let's basically remove him from the match, so that way Cody can take the loss, because Cody's going to stay hot no matter what. Cody can take the loss and the direct pin, and Sammy will get the win, but Gunther's protected because Gunther didn't take the actual loss. Jey Uso, oh, well, he was technically tapping out. Why do you have to give Jey Uso an out? You've already basically showed him to be the most subservient member of the bloodline. So who cares if he takes the loss? There's no pressure on Jey Uso whatsoever. He's the most complimentary piece of the bloodline. I mean, even Jimmy has more backbone than Jey does in this story. So you give him an out to say, oh, well, Oba was tapping out. You could, I mean, when you watch it back, it wasn't a convincing tap out, and it wasn't supposed to be a good looking tap out because he was just tapping the mat to hype the crowd up. But why do you have to give Jey Uso an out?
Because
you could have made Oba look dominant, but you didn't.
No. See, we got to think how WWE booking thinking. They did it to protect Jey from Roman, because Roman who told him to go be in the King Ring and go be champion over there on SmackDown. And since he failed, this is a way of saying, okay, Roman, I lost, but technically I won. I made him tap, but the referee didn't see it.
And who in their right mind would believe a guy that's like 220 pounds with no formal submission grappling training is going to tap out a guy that's 6'3", like 280, or actually like 320 pounds? Like, come on. That's how you chose to finish the match was, oh, let's put him in a sleeper hold. Come on now.
Yeah.
And what is it with the entire bloodline doing sleeper holds? It's like the most generic wrestling move. I mean, I get why Roman Reigns did it because the dude can't wrestle, but the entire bloodline does a sleeper hold.
Well, I mean, I don't. With Jey, look, Oba's huge, and that's the only move he can probably do can get him down to the ground. He ain't gonna hit him no Uso splash because that ain't gonna work.
Oh, but Jay's got a feared spear, don't you know? Haven't you seen the high quality spears that he does?
He had a super kick that didn't work either.
Just like when Jacob was having his freak out moment and was tearing through everybody, the only move that could take Jacob down was Jey Uso's spear.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's the whole bloodline story. What's the story now? Jey lost. You gonna have Roman attack Jey because he lost? You have Jacob. That's what I'm
saying. See, that's what I meant to. That's what I was saying. Maybe they use this to protect Jey from Roman, because they can spin it as Jey really didn't lose. He made over tap, but the referee didn't see it. He won't go back there look like a loser. But technically, he is a loser.
But even from the story perspective, what does that do to advance the story? If anything, you draw the story to a standstill. If he would have lost clean, then you could run a Roman's pissed off. Roman wants Jey to be punished by, getting beat up by somebody, whatever. Now it's just at a standstill.
It's a standstill, but they can also use it as, okay, Jey, the winner of the Sammy and the Oba match, you'll get another shot. You'll get it. You'll be number 10. You'll get another shot at the title since you technically did not lose. They can spin it that way, and that way, that will save him some grace within his own family.
That better be on, like, what is that? The Sunday show main event or whatever. Nobody's gonna want to watch Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn for a title. And nobody's going to believe a Jey Uso versus Oba match where Jey would beat Oba. Like, you better put that on Speed or something like that. Is the Speed Championship still even a thing?
Yeah, but it's on NXT.
Oh, nice. I
What I
figured out
liked
how to
about
watch Main Event. I had to Google it just to figure out how to watch that show. It's on WWE's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's why I can never find it.
And what I liked about this win by Sami Zayn, that it opens up opportunities. So I look at his title run kind of similar to what's going to be with Darby Allin. Not in the sense of you're going to wrestle everybody you could possibly think of in 30 days, but the possibilities of who Sami can wrestle. It can be CM Punk. It can be Randy Orton. It can be, whenever he comes back, it can be Drew McIntyre. It could be, I don't know when he coming back. It could be Kevin Owens. And I even said it on here that if Kevin Owens come back this summer and Sami Zayn still champion, I can see Kevin Owens dethroning Sami Zayn. Because to me, that would make more sense. Best friends.
I already said that at the beginning of the show.
Enemies. Yeah. Well, yeah. You said beginning of the show, but I said it last week. But it makes more sense than, okay, Sami loses to CM Punk. It would have no feel for it. Or Sami losing to Trick Williams, who's skyrocketing to the top of the card. I don't think they want to do that to Sami twice.
I'm done talking about Sami Zayn.
He just blanked out on Sami.
I didn't blank out. There's nothing positive for me to say.
So let's look at the two guys he faced. What's next for Cody? Well, every good feud that Cody can have from here on out will be without the title. Again, he can go with CM Punk. They might revisit him and Randy Orton. He got numerous opportunities to go out here and tell his story. Tell a very good story without the title. And that's kind of what has been missing from Cody, is that he hasn't told any good stories in a while. And he's one of the best storytellers in wrestling. So maybe we'll get that with him without the title, wrestling Punk, Orton. Maybe they do him and Gunther. Maybe him and Trick Williams. I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there. Or maybe he can move to Raw.
They'll probably bring back Randy Orton now because, as they've said, he's been perfectly fine. He's just been on vacation. So by all accords, you would have him come back now to take out Cody. Best thing for Cody right now is to disappear for a good long while.
Take a break. Yeah, that would be nice. Take a break, rest your body. Yeah, that'd be nice. But I don't think Cody wants to do that.
It's not about what Cody wants to do. It's what the fans need. Fans are tired of seeing Cody Rhodes.
Just like the fans got tired of seeing John Cena all those damn times.
Yeah. And it showed. Like, you could tell he started getting booed for a reason.
Yeah.
Because people got tired of seeing him. It's not because he was bad. It's not because he wasn't entertaining. People got tired of seeing him. Vince just didn't have anybody else to rely on. Cody and Rhodes that's always been WWE's fault. You go all the way back to Bruno Sammartino. They ride a horse until that horse has died and been buried, and then they try and dig it up to ride it some more. And then when Vince Jr. would realize, okay, go back to Hogan. Okay, the fans are tired of you. Well, you rode me this long. I want to keep going. They did the same thing. He would have done the same thing with Austin. Austin's body gave out and he retired. And then they immediately went into John Cena, and he rode John Cena that entire time until John pulled himself out of the industry to start doing movies. And they will do the same thing with Triple H. They will ride Cody.
That's his horse. That's his meal ticket.
Yeah, they will ride Cody until Cody's basically said, I'm retiring. Now, for his own benefit, he has come out and said he's on his last contract. Or his next contract is last. I don't remember whatever he said. But whatever. The end is coming. But for the fans' benefit and for WWE's benefit, They need to let Cody go take 2-3 months off. Just get off TV. Let him come back as a heel. Get him off TV. Give somebody else time. Because the thing with Cody is when Cody's on TV, he's not on TV for a 30-second backstage promo. He's taking up the majority of time of whatever show he's on. So that's time that you could be broken down into other talent that you need to develop. And WWE's problem, like I just said, is always they don't develop enough talent soon enough. They always wait until, oh, wow, the fans are already turning on us. We need to do something else. Now they've gotten a little bit better with Trick Williams, but you've put Trick Williams over to the point that you've cast aside Carmelo, Ricky Starks, Staints, whatever, Ilya. Like, that's 3 guys for 1. And yeah, while Trick could be the biggest out of all of them, I'd rather have 4 guys that are capable than just 1.
Yeah.
And the last time Carmelo was out, I saw a video of people that were there. The fans were dead quiet because you cooled him off so much by making him irrelevant, giving him no TV time, and you don't let him talk.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because I forgot who was I listening to, and I think it was D'Lo Brown. And he said one of the biggest reasons why a lot of the fans don't pop for a lot of today's wrestlers is because they don't have that signature theme song.
What have I said on the show 1,000 times?
Yeah, you did. You did. And he was like, if the wrestlers would have the signature theme song, they would get the proper response from the crowd. Like Braun Breaker music has been changed numerous of times from NXT to the WWE so many times where you don't know what signature song he has. And the one thing he says that signature song, it has to match the character, not the individual. It has to match the character.
I'll give you an example. Steve Austin. It honestly didn't really matter unless you would have put some soft opera music on after that glass shattering. You need something that grabs their attention immediately. You had the glass shatter with Steve Austin. You have with Seth Rollins right now, the burn it down. It grabs their attention and gets the fans immediately hyped. Things like that. And that's why I said when we first started doing the show, you know how much effort they're going to put into somebody by their theme song.
Yeah. And it's sad because everybody needs that. They only give it to these top superstars, but everybody needs that signature theme song where the crowd can recognize the wrestlers. And not only that, he also said what you have said. I have repeated what you said. They have to get these wrestlers out in front of the crowd on house shows. That's another way they can be recognized. How you expect to get return value from your product if you're not having house shows? If these house shows it's more than just developing the skill set. It's about getting to knowing your fan base. And who's their fan base? Little kids. And these little kids would like to know or be a fan of some of these wrestlers out here. So it's like the WWE is getting away from what made them the WWE.
Oh, they are, because they're not owned by the people that made it WWE. They're owned by a bunch of guys that don't know anything about pro wrestling. No. Ari Emanuel's a sports agent. He doesn't know wrestling. Triple H knows wrestling, sure, but does Triple H really call the shots?
No.
He calls the shots on the stuff they don't care about, but when they, you've heard it from The Rock himself. When ticket sales are down, he's getting direct calls from Ari Emanuel, which means, yeah, Triple H, you might have been doing something, but now I'm making the calls. Nothing you can do about it. Rock's going to be here, make it work. Done.
And to a certain degree.
What drives me nuts, back with what you were saying with the D'Lo Brown thing, if I was Vince McMahon, if I was TKO, and you've seen it with Chelsea Green recently, you had one of their producers, one of their most veteran senior leadership producers come out and say, oh yeah, her ceiling, she's a mid-carder, blah, blah, blah. Why would I ever hire somebody that I don't think I could make into a superstar? And I'm not talking WWE's term of superstar, but I mean like an actual superstar.
Why you hire somebody
Like,
you can't make any money if you know that
exactly.
person got a
Like,
ceiling?
hey, I'm hiring you because I think that you would be a solid fit to be a mid-carder your entire career, and we think that you're capable of putting on a semi-decent match so that we can make stars from wrestling you, but you yourself, I don't think you have it. The thing with pro wrestling, to get over with the fans, you have to be able to talk. The great thing about that is if you can't talk, you have a manager that can talk. So it's a simple fix. He can't talk, so that's why he can't do anything. Dean Malenko could be considered one of the greatest wrestlers of all time if you give him a manager. Between WCW and WWE, nobody put a manager on him. Chris Benoit, one of the few people that couldn't speak, period, but still managed to get over because he had a relentless persona, so it kind of fit the character that he was, that he didn't talk all that much. But the talking part is huge. Brock Lesnar without Paul Heyman at the beginning probably would have turned out to be a dud. It would have been a lot like John Cena coming out as the prototype until people realized that he could talk. Yeah, Brock's huge. He could do all these things, but he can't talk, so he's not going to get over with fans. Again, they can make whatever stars they want to be stars. You've seen it with Roman Reigns. One of the most inept people of all time in pro wrestling turned out to be one of your biggest stars of all time because they forced it on him. Not because he paved the way, not because he paid his dues in the indies or anything like that. Vince McMahon had a hard on for him, so they did everything they possibly could to make him a star. And now he takes private planes to all their events and this and that. Then he doesn't do shows overseas because they don't want to pay for the private planes, all that kind of stuff. That's what they caused. So you can't tell me that, Chelsea Green can never be a main eventer because we just don't think she has the talent for it. She's one of the best workers they have, period, men or women.
Yeah,
so
she is.
Again, why would you cap your talent? Back to, I'd rather have four guys: Carmelo, Trick, Ilya, and who am I missing? Who was the fourth guy? Ricky. I'd rather have four guys that are capable than just one. Because what happens if Trick goes down with an injury?
Yeah, three guys.
Don't know what to do now. Kind of stuck. Maybe Ethan Page can go suck up 20 minutes of TV time, and Ethan Page is another one. Like, you've got a ton of talent there, and NXT does a good job of bringing them up. Shawn Michaels does an incredible job, but they bring people up too early just because they're getting really hot in NXT. Oh, we got to pull them up. Even though we don't have a place for you, we're going to pull you up. Ethan Page essentially doesn't have a place. They've inserted him into the IC title, but it's that same little group of people. Penta, Ethan Page, Rusev. Week after week after week after week. Why isn't Ethan Page wrestling all these other guys?
Yeah.
You don't even do drafts anymore. Just put the guys on different shows. Mix it up.
But also, you also got to look at it. That's reluctant of the WWE refusing to make Penta and Ray Phoenix a tag team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which it kind of makes sense because you want to redo your tag. You said internally.
Yeah, we're rebuilding our tag team.
Yeah. And it goes back to what I said a long time ago. Why is Jey Uso and Jimmy not wrestling tag team matches? Yeah. So, by the way, I got to mention this. So, they said it was online, I think it was on Facebook, that Oba Femi is the 5th African American to win King of the Ring. And I think it was Mabel, Booker T, Oba, I forgot who the other guy was. Oh, Xavier Woods. And guess who's one of the 5th guy?
For some reason, Ahmed Johnson keeps coming into my head, but I don't think it's Ahmed Johnson.
No. Cody Rhodes.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, what are we doing here, y'all? Because his middle name is Raheem. I could have sworn my man. I could have sworn he's half Cuban. His mom is from Cuba. Mama's Cuban. I didn't know he was black. Did I miss something?
Well, depending on who you talk to, Cubans identify as black or Latino. I think it depends on what group they're talking to is who they want to claim. But
I mean, I gotta start looking up some stuff here. I don't know how that slipped right past me. I'm like, huh? Cody Rhodes? Because his middle name is Raheem. And this what we going off with? People, I tell you what, man, people are hilarious. They really are. Shout out to that. I don't know who made that post, but shout out to you. You're hilarious. Do your research.
You just got to read all the posts about Sol Ruca. We love that a black woman's champion. Why does it have to be called out that she's black? She's half black, half white. Who cares? Who cares?
I mean, I just don't know.
I just don't know why everybody focuses on race so much. Like, I don't get it.
Race relations.
Ugh.
Yeah.
If you got the talent, you got the talent. If you don't, you don't. Move on. Like, I don't know why I could have swore Ahmed Johnson won a King of the Ring. But yeah, the whole King Mabel thing was terrible. King Booker was super annoying just because Sharmella is super annoying.
But King Booker dedicated to that role.
He did dedicate to it. I will get
to that role.
He's the reason why everybody calls themselves king or queen now, because he's the one that really embraced that thing. Everybody else, it was like, yeah, I won King of the Ring, and then like the following Monday, it's over. Like, you don't talk about it. But yeah, he ran with that, and he made it part of his gimmick. Xavier Woods, like, they didn't even do anything with Xavier Woods when he won it. It's like, did you just figure hey, we're never going to give you an actual title of meaning here, so we'll just say you're King of the Ring 1 year.
No, actually, Xavier just won to win King of the Ring. And all right, you want to win? All right, gotcha. We got you. You won. But guess
we're
what?
Going to put in your contract. You can never ask for an actual title ever again. We're going to let you win King of the Ring. It's in your contract.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, Night of Champions overall, like, there was nothing. The matches for the most part were fine. I'll admit, EO versus Liv was a little sloppy. EO needed to win. Again, Liv never should have been in that match to that point to begin with. I think they just wanted to see what it would be like with an EO versus Liv match. Because there's no reason for her to be there.
And again,
why wasn't Lyra Valkyria there? And I'm not even a Lyra fan, but why wasn't Lyra there? Why wasn't Bayley there? Like, all these different women, when you already have one woman champion in this thing.
Yeah. Hey, you know the bad thing about this whole thing? Two things. Actually, one, you're right. If Danhausen keep cursing people, man, it's going to be a problem.
Well, yeah, they're backing themselves into a hole. Like, he's a comedy character. And for people that don't know, I was texting him about this because the Danhausen thing annoys me. I love the character. He's always been funny. He was hilarious in AEW. But for him being a comedy wrestler, the cursing has to not work sometimes. Because if the whole thing is that, oh, he curses you, well, then there's no point in watching the matches. I mean, it's bad enough when they put out promo materials 1, 2 to 3 months ahead of time, so you already know who's going to win. But when you're watching the show and, oh, hey, the main event is this, and Danhausen curses you, okay, I don't need to watch the rest of the show. Because you know what's going to happen. Yeah, you're going to lose. So, like, you have to have the curses, like, either backfire and make something funny about it or something, because the gimmick's going to run stale. And that's going to be what puts Danhausen out, is if they don't let up on this whole Danhausen curses you.
When he does that, it should be special.
Yeah.
Now
make it into his character. I have to save up. I used up all my power for the New York Knicks because they paid me a lot of human money. So now I have to take 6 months to recharge. Do something stupid. I don't care. But every week I'm going to curse you. Okay, well, I don't need to watch that match now.
Yeah. So Liv Morgan lost to EO. We knew that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. It had to happen. That's why we weren't surprised that she lost to EO. What we're surprised about is that EO automatically, she challenged Liv at SummerSlam.
Well, I think that's because they're realizing Rio's going to be out longer than they even anticipated.
Yeah. And not only that, Stephanie might be out a little longer too.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at is this is the way of WWE kind of protecting themselves because they see that, well, Triple H sees that, well, I haven't done anything with Liv. And the one feud that she needs to be in, it's not going to happen. And I don't have any creative direction for her that I can reverse. So let her fight Io, and Io go over and beat Liv, and we take title off of Liv.
Well, that's the thing. If you look online, everybody's turning on Liv because she hasn't done anything since she got the title. But again, like the whole Jade Cargill situation, it's not her fault. Triple H is like, it's almost like he wants to punish her and just say, well, I gave you the title. Now I'm going to kill your entire momentum, when he's one of the best things going, or she's one of the best things going in the women's division. And yet Io didn't have anything. Now you can at least, okay, Stephanie's not back. Now we need to do something with Liv. Now you've got a little feud going there, but you wasted almost 2 full months before you did anything with Liv. And now the fans have turned on her. Yes, she's a heel character, but like, she has real heat with the fans that they don't want to see her now because you weren't using her. You were just having her do backstage segments. She wasn't wrestling.
It goes back to the WWE. It's just so safe. I mean, Triple H is so safe. It's like he refused to pull the trigger of breaking up the Judgment Day. If you break up, you can keep Liv and Raquel as a team. But if you kick out Roxanne, you have a feud there. You have a built-in storyline right there. Liv could have been wrestling Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, like you said. She could have wrestled. Alexa Bliss. She could have wrestled Charlotte Flair. She could have wrestled Becky Lynch. There are so many women back there in that locker room who should be having title opportunities against Liv. But for those first 60 days, you wasted her title run because you was waiting on a certain woman to come back from her injury or visa problem, whatever it may be. You wasted her title run. So now her title run more likely is going in at SummerSlam, and it's going to be incomplete. And not only that, her own fan base, as you said, is turning on her because she ain't doing anything. It's like you kept Liv a valet for Dom, but she is the world's champion. She's the women's world champion. Yep. I'm not saying I feel bad for Liv because she won at WrestleMania. She became a champion. She did it on her own. She did it her way. She came out with this music video, Trouble. I can't believe a lot of people like it and listen to it and whatever. But you killed not only her momentum, you didn't make her a credible champion. So when you decide to put the title back on her down the road, I'm not gonna believe it. I am already feeling that she is not a good champion, and that's because of the booking, not because of her, because of the booking.
And this is the guy they just gave a multi-year extension to.
A what?
Oh, they just gave him a multi-year extension like 2 months ago.
Yeah, they did.
And like, this is the quality. But people keep watching, so they'll keep justifying it. Doesn't matter that, the Miz is still showing up in my Instagram with 25% off tickets to Monday Night Raw because nobody's buying them. It's how do you have a champion? And we've talked about it before, that you don't have a plan B. You're in a sport, you're in entertainment, whatever you want to, sports, entertainment, combine it, whatever. People get hurt on a weekly basis. How did you not have a plan B if Stephanie goes down, or a plan B if Liv goes down? Because Liv has shown, if there's one fault that Liv has, she is injury prone. But Stephanie Vacher, to her own credit, can't stay healthy either. She's also very injury prone. So how did you not have a plan B? Okay, we gave Liv the title, and now we're just going to have you sit here. and now we're putting you in the Queen of the Ring, not to break up the Judgment Day, which would have made sense and it would have accomplished something because people, I think, are overall tired of the Judgment Day. It's just like that. It's like herpes. It just doesn't go away. It's just constantly there. Tell me, is there anything more that the Judgment Day is besides annoying at this point? It's basically herpes. It's not helping. It's not hindering. It's just kind of there and it doesn't go away. But instead of using the Queen of the Ring to at least accomplish that, no, it was a long glorified tournament to set up an angle so that Liv Morgan has an opponent for something. That's all it was. And that's why they had to have Io Sky immediately challenge Liv Morgan for the title. So that way you at least know, oh, Liv's at least in an actual program now. Something's heading somewhere.
That's so sad, ladies and gentlemen. It's so sad. And if you're a Liv Morgan fan, don't take this out on Liv. It's just WWE being the WWE. And this is WWE never do right by their champions, no matter who it is. They don't.
The one thing I want to add up from Night of Champions, I want to see a calculator of how many minutes were dedicated to commercials compared to actual wrestling. And I'm not talking the entire entrance time. I'm talking about from the time the bell rings to the time the bell rings. Bell to bell. Because we know WWE likes to skirt, oh, well, we had this much time of wrestling time when they like to have 5-minute intros per wrestler come out. No, skip the intros. I want to know bell to bell, how much wrestling time was there compared to commercial time? Because even the other big podcasting shows are complaining about how much commercial time there was. Yeah. And I only looked into it this time because something popped up that Meltzer and Alvarez were complaining about it. So I was like, well, let me see if everybody else is complaining about it. Sure enough, everybody is.
And listen, it's so before we get to the Braun and Seth, I do want to say this. I did see this on the podcast. They was talking about the commercial spot, all these commercials. I can't say with Netflix, but I can say for ESPN. The reason why ESPN is playing a lot of these commercials because they got to make their money back. Because what they see now is how Triple H and Nick Khan are how they booking these shows, and that these PLEs are now living up to the standard of what they thought it was going to be. So they had to do these commercials so they can make their money back because the WWE is really not making ESPN no money. And this is something I don't blame ESPN because they have to do this. Trust me. And when I say if WWE was making money, was putting out here good product, when I mean product, good creative storytelling on their pay-per-views, on their shows, we won't be seeing a lot of commercials.
No.
I'm just putting that out.
The sad part out, this is like not counting WrestleMania or SummerSlam because they get 2 nights, so they get to fudge the numbers. This was one of the biggest shows they've had match-wise in a long time. There was actually 6 matches on there, which for them, that's like a double stuffed Oreo. Now, if you compare it to their competition that happened a night later that had 12 matches just on the main card alone that were all solid or above, you had a couple matches that were, why is this even on here? To, okay. I mean, the Braun Breaker Seth Rollins match was great. Other than that, all the other matches were There was nothing special. They weren't elevated. It didn't look like anybody was putting in, their absolute best to take this as like we want to be match of the year. They were just matches.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We already mentioned it that Seth Rollins beat Braun Breaker. It made sense because they had to end division. They had to end this, and it had to end it by Seth going over.
Did it though? Why did Seth have to win?
Because he was already setting up Seth versus Roman. Storyline wise, Braun should have went over.
100%.
But because you're setting up Seth versus Roman, he had to go over. And
But
they were
that's the
telling
thing.
us this for weeks.
In the match of Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, the match that is the most important, the only one that truly matters when you look at the overall timeline of the feud of the program, is the final match. The first
Yes.
match and the final match. You also have a guy that's been around there for 15 years. He's done everything there is to do in WWE. And then you have the guy that's supposed to be your future, and you have him take another L. Like, I don't know if they've lost trust in him. I don't know what, but they went from being so high on Braun Breaker at the beginning of the year. Well, actually, basically from Thanksgiving last year, all the way until he had the hernia. And now it's like he's just another guy.
Well, I think we touched on that numerous times. And now we're seeing it being played out. The WWE is putting all of their eggs in one basket, and that's Obafemi.
And it's going to backfire big time. Oba's good.
Yeah.
But Oba's not generational good. He's not going to be the one to put fans in the stands. He's not.
So because the WWE did that, and because the WWE once upon a time put a lot of eggs in the basket of Braun Breaker, they took those eggs out of Braun Breaker and put it in Obafemi's basket. And because of that, you seen how Braun Breaker's being booked, you seen how he's being portrayed, and that's why when you hear that it's going to be Oba versus Sammy, if Oba wins, he goes to SmackDown. Why he go to SmackDown? Because he is overshadowing and he is dominating everything on Raw. He has taken Braun Breaker's spot and then some. If you keep both guys on that show, Braun Breaker is never going to get the push that he needs. And remember, this is from the WWE who said that they want to develop the young talent. And don't forget, this is the same company that said the reason why we didn't pull the trigger on Braun Breaker winning the title because we want him to win on the big stage.
That was then, not now.
That was then, right? So that was when was that October? That last year.
No, that was when we came on the show and everybody was saying, "Oh, he's going to win on the first episode of Raw for the year because it's the anniversary." I said, "No, it's not big enough." Mm-hmm. And what happened? He went in, he wrestled CM Punk, and he lost.
Yeah, and remember,
and now he got hurt. So that whole WrestleMania moment and everything else that they were going to build up to. Sorry,
but even still, even then, you still have to doubt that. Do you actually think they was going to give Braun Breaker the title over Oba?
At the time, 100%.
At the time, yeah, at the time, 100%.
Again, Oba would have been just another guy. You have to remember, they were pushing him. Brock Lesnar is the reason that Oba has the momentum that he has.
Yeah.
If Brock would have rolled out of the ring and just walked away, it would have been, okay, cool, this is the guy that beat Brock Lesnar. But Brock taking off his shoes and gloves, that added a whole nother level that they should have taken advantage of immediately, but they weren't smart enough to.
But even before then, even before that WrestleMania match, you can tell once they call Oba up. Think about it. When he was on NXT, when they called him up, what they do? He didn't lose. He won, and he left the title in the ring. They protected him that way. And then they teased his appearance. He debuted officially became on the main roster at the Royal Rumble. And what did they do? They gave us all types of vignettes. They were hyping him up. They was giving him star treatment then. And remember, Braun Breaker was their guy. And once Oba debuted on the main roster, you could just see that his star just kept going down and down and down and down. And when he got hurt, that went away. So they're in this situation where they had two guys on the same show, and one guy is hurting the other guy because his star power just went up through the roof. So now we got to move him so that we can build this guy back up again. and where, and all they had to do was make him look strong. All they had to do was have him go over Seth Rollins because he needed the win. He needed the victory. The Vision needed the win because they are a fractured group. Okay, they're fractured. They're banged up for one. Two, they're not a credible faction anymore because nobody gonna take them serious. They're gonna look at them like they're a bunch of losers. And your top star, who's supposed to be the next big thing, he has been in a big match.
The problem they're gonna have with Oba is the same problem that they had with the Ascension, if you remember that tag team.
Yeah, I remember that.
Looked a lot like the Legion of Doom, things like that, until they got on the main roster and people realized, wow, they're pretty small. Ascension was like the hottest thing in WWE for a short period of time. Then they got on the main roster and he's pretty small.
You talking about Braun Breaker had that problem?
No, I'm talking about Oba.
Well, Oba's not small.
Oba's 6'3". Oba's fat.
He's
like
not
comparatively. Fat. If they put him in the ring with Trick Williams, Trick is just bigger.
Well, Trick is more defined. Yes.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing that's going to hurt Oba. If they put Oba, and I'm not saying he's fat, like he's running around like Otis, but like even compared to Brock, Oba looked almost out of shape compared to Brock, and Brock's 25 years older than he is.
Well, nah.
But like, if you start looking at who looks like a champion, we all know Triple H is all about the look of the person. Trick Williams might be getting an explosive push here soon. Based on Oba.
Oba looks like a champion. He dresses like a champion. And yeah, look, Oba has some meat on him. That's fine. I mean, he's not fat.
I'm just giving you the reality. You don't have to defend it. I'm just telling you. They're all about the look. That's why Sami Zayn, this is like getting it out of the way, move on.
I know. And you can see how when Oba's down his gear, he'll have him come out wear a pair of jeans and a dress shirt and some dress shoes. He have his hair tied to the back. Oba's look like a champion. I mean, Oba's fine. Now, Braun Breaker.
I'm telling you.
Braun Breaker, that's different. Braun Breaker, that's different. Because now you telling me I got to move the guy that passed Braun. I got to move him to a whole nother show so this guy can get his star back. That's a problem. Because now you got to start from scratch. You got to start from scratch with Braun Breaker. Even with Paul Heyman, you had to start from scratch.
I mean, yeah, you knew he was going to have to start from scratch. Again, Oba got almost an unfair advantage because Brock said he was done. If Braun Breaker was in that same exact position and Brock said he's done, we'd be talking about Braun Breaker.
Yeah, but see, I'm also looking at the fact that when Seth was out with his injury, you had an opportunity to have a feud with Braun and CM Punk. You had an opportunity to have a program. You could even build a program for.
They did. They screwed Braun Breaker essentially. And I'm not defending Braun Breaker because I'm not a Braun Breaker fan. I've been clear on that. I'm more of an Oba fan. But even I see the shortcomings of Oba, and it's going to screw them.
Yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying is that they could have put Braun Breaker in a better position and put him in better feuds than, I don't know, maybe have him just wait for Seth Rollins wasn't the answer.
They should have had him win at that Raw, the 1 year anniversary Raw, where everybody thought he should. I said he wouldn't because you could tell they were trying to build it up to a WrestleMania thing. They decided to wait, and that screwed up everything. Again,
that was so stupid.
If Braun wins the title, he then doesn't have that little freak out moment where he tries to flip the table over. It's, the butterfly effect. Everything changes if you would have just put the belt on him when everybody was expecting him to win.
And it made sense.
It made perfect sense for him to win there, but they didn't want the title to change hands on a Raw.
And which is comical to me because you could have had an opportunity where, okay, fine. You didn't want him to win the title of Raw? Fine. What you could have done is that you could have built something up between him and Roman Reigns. That would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
That would have made more sense than him going to see a Punk. Hey, Why don't we just go ahead and build something for Roman versus Braun? Because now we had the battle of the Paul Heyman guys.
But the problem is they're not ready to have Roman Reigns lose to anybody. There's a reason, when Seth was cutting his promo where I'm the workhorse champion, this is the workhorse title and the world heavyweight title. It's because that's the only title that was being defended consistently during COVID. And not during COVID. During COVID, it was, Lashley and McIntyre, and they were doing a hell of a job. Coming out of COVID, Roman still wasn't wrestling. You were getting your once every 3 months, he would have a match. Seth was wrestling all the time. Everybody holding that title was wrestling with that belt all the time. They're not ready to let Roman lose to just anybody. And they're doing the same thing with Cody now. Cody takes a loss, loses the title, has it, doesn't have it for 2 months, gets it back. And they just keep repeating the same cycle. You can go back and find perfect examples repeatedly of how they do this. And everybody's going to be stuck at the Roman Reigns gate. Because even WWE, if Braun never got hurt, his star still wouldn't have been big enough that they would let him take a win over Roman, which means he would have had to been going over Cody. Cody's going to take the loss, bounce back just fine. I also think that they're trying to make this really short-term play to get Cody's title reigns up into like 12-plus range, to get up into Randy's range, because there's no other reason you'd have him lose the title and get it back 2 months later, just like, when he beat Cena for it. No reason. You didn't do anything with the title. Why did you have it? It's just so that they could throw another title win on his belt. But Oba's you got to take advantage of it. You got to do what you can. And again, I'm an Oba fan. But I don't see Oba having too many great matches with some of the talent that's on the roster if he's champ. Because again, it's not that the talent's not there. It's that they're not going to elevate the talent to wrestle him. You're not going to get a Carmelo Hayes versus Oba match. They're not going to give you a Trick Williams versus Oba match anytime soon because it was just done in NXT. And they're going to keep those guys apart. Trick Williams' character works a whole lot better on Raw.
That is about the dumbest thing they ever done if they do that. I agree with you, but I'm just saying from that standpoint, if you're not going to get the people of Oba versus Trick Williams with this year or next year, that'd be so stupid because you're minimizing Oba, what he can do compared to what Trick can do.
It's about perception, though.
I know.
Trick, size-wise, yeah, does Oba have more weight to him and things like that? Yeah. Trick, standing toe-to-toe, Trick isn't 6'5", like they say he is. He is closer to like 6'3", which means he's the same height as Oba. But he's going to be the same height, and he's going to be shredded, and then there's going to be Oba. So you need to have your champ look dominant, look huge. That's what they're all about. Cody's just the exception to the rule. But yeah, once you become champion, you fall into that 5 moves of doom. Even Cody is no exception. You got the Cody Cutter, the Destruction Kick, the Crossroads, the little shuffle thingy that he got from his dad, and what else am I missing? There's another one. But yeah, basically the 5 moves of doom. And Oba's already into that. You got Fall from Grace, you got the heave toss thing that he does, you've got that rolling elbow that he does, and the spine buster thing that he does. So it's going to be interesting because I have a feeling he's going to win the title, and he's probably going to have a period of time where he doesn't defend the title.
Right. We're going to stop it right there. We're going to come back tomorrow because Raw is on.
Are they still overseas?
Yes, and it started at 6. So we got to check this out. Come back tomorrow. And Brock Lesnar has made his return while we were talking.
Of course. I was wondering what you were playing on your phone with.
Yeah. I was trying I had got an alert that it was on, and
you got an alert. How'd you get an alert?
I got it set up. I got one of those illegals. Don't make me tell my secrets, okay?
You could have just said I have my ways, and I would have been like, okay, cool. I thought Netflix sent you a notification or something. I don't know.
No, I have my ways.
I got you.
I'm not gonna incriminate myself. Let's put it like that. We're gonna be back tomorrow early at noon. We're gonna check this out. We're gonna talk about it. Then we're gonna talk about AEW Forbidden Door. But we gotta watch this because we're gonna give you guys our honest opinion. So,
all right.
That's Jamie. I'm DS. Thank you guys for watching. We are out. Peace.
Later.